Welcome back to the shop. Our coffee table is almost done. I'm going to get it disassembled and start on the top coat. I'm going to unscrew the base from the tabletop, and then we're going to clean up both pieces. I think I'm going to spray the top coat on the base, and then we'll brush on the polyurethane top coat on the top. To clean up as much dust as possible, I'm going to use this bristle brush tip for the vacuum. That helps get into the grains of the wood and gets all the dust that we can out of this piece. I'm going to use a spray-on polyurethane top coat for the base. I'm going to do that in a different part of the shop, but I'm going to do the top coat on the tabletop right here. I'm going to do the top coat on the bottom of this glue up first. Then when we flip it over to do the final pass on the top, I can utilize these screw holes, placing the screws in these holes to keep it up off the tabletop. That gives me a little bit of room to wipe for drips and things like that, making sure I get a perfect top coat on the top. I'm going to be using the Minwax polyurethane in the black can today for this project. This specific type is the warm satin, and the process is really simple. Just brush it on lightly, and between each layer I'll do a little scour pad or some light sandpaper. I'll end up doing 3 layers on the tabletop and the base, and I'll probably let it sit for 3 or 4 days to fully cure. It's a little cold down here. It's about 50 degrees, so between each layer might take a little more time. And once everything's dry, I'll mount the base back on the tabletop, check for last minute things like drips and final touch-ups and things like that. Then we'll mount the little rubber feet on the bottoms of the legs on the base, and it'll be done. The wood really sucks up this first coat of polyurethane because it's so dry. The second and third coats, it won't suck it up so quickly. I'm applying it with the grain. Some spots it sucks up quicker than others, like the knots. It'll generally sit on top of it, won't get down into the grain quite as much, but I'm trying to minimize the number of dry spots. I'm also trying to get on the edges a little bit, but I don't want any dripping if I can help it. I'll get down a little bit and look and see a couple dry spots. Try to minimize that as much as possible. At the end of each pass, I like to just go and make sure everything is perfectly smooth, just like this. It's sort of like sanding with the belt sander. You always want to finish with a stroke the same as the grain. That helps hide some of the imperfections. I'm not going to do the sides on this pass. I think I'll probably do that when I do the top. Having the screws in place helps keep it up off the workbench, and I can get easier access to the sides. We'll give this at least 8 to 10 hours, and then we'll come back and do it again. It's been about 12 hours since I put this first top coat on. It's feeling really good. So I'm going to take this scour pad, just do a couple quick passes just to rough off the surface. This just helps the next layer stick to this one. Not pressing overly hard, just roughing it up. Then I'm going to take just a damp paper towel and then immediately dry it. Give that a few minutes to completely dry, and then we'll go for the next layer. Okay, this will be layer 2 of 3, and this is the underside of the glue up. Once this side's done, we'll go back into the top. And at the same time, I've been spraying the base in a different part of the shop. I got a spray version of this same Minwax polyurethane top coat. Works really well for the bases because there's cracks and things to try to get into. It makes it hard when you're brushing, but the spray works really well. So it looks exactly the same as this, but not quite as shiny or polished looking, which is why we use the brush on the tabletop. So this second layer and the third layer will suck up into the wood way less. There's almost no absorption at this stage. So this is the point when we're really looking to get perfect even coats. Just working it into the grain, back and forth, pulling it a little further each time. All right, checking for dry spots. Everything looks really good. There's a couple drip spots here on the edges. Clean up a little bit. Those drip spots dry and then you have to sand them off, so if you can get them off while they're wet, that's perfect. Okay, so we'll let this dry for another 12 hours and this side will be finished this evening. It's been about 24 hours and I've finished the top coat on the top of the coffee table. We're coming up really close to the end of this project. So I'm gonna drill the holes for the feet in the bottom of the legs, and then I'm gonna get the top of the table mounted to the base. I'm going to use a 3/8 inch insert foot here. They're adjustable, so once they get in, I'll install those before I deliver this. I put a lot of work into this project, so I'm excited to see the final product. Here it is, the oak coffee table. I think the base turned out really great. The top is beautiful. That polyurethane finish really pulls out the grain and the color. We have the tapered legs, all the pocket joints that hold the base to the top, so all the screws are hidden. Finished on all sides. Beautiful. I even kept a little bit of character here with this knot. And some of this wood up here, not perfect, but the way it finished looks really good, adds character to the piece. I'm really happy how this table turned out. I hope you enjoyed following along and watching me build it. I'm going to get this prepared to be delivered and start on the next project.